Folks, there's my camera. This episode is brought to you by Littlefoot Coffee. Couple weeks remaining here in the Littlefoot cabin.
We're enjoying our time in the Littlefoot cabin room.
Definitely. We've
Nice
had quite
and
a day
cozy.
here, honestly.
Yeah, we actually spent the day here today. It's
we
quite nice.
watched a full game here. We watched Liverpool host Chelsea
Yeah.
in the cabin today. We're watching a little NFL.
Watching a little Lions.
We had a little lunch break out back.
Yeah, a little beautiful. It's perfect weather out right now. Michigan's throwing up some beautiful fall weather.
Indeed. It's been nice. And Littlefoot Coffee's been keeping us
Keeping us
comfortable
caffeinated.
and caffeinated. Oh my God, I made the most amazing cold brew today. I was worried about my caffeination level.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make it extra weak, so I filled the cup
milky.
with like as much ice as possible.
Yeah.
Put in a heavy dose of the extra fatty Oatly.
Yeah.
The dark blue
Gotta
bottle.
have the dark blue one.
Oh, it's so
Gotta
good.
have the dark blue.
And then probably 1/3 part Littlefoot cold brew.
Littlefoot cold brew just to make it sweet and
And
chocolatey.
then just a kiss of the stay-at-home. Was it
Let's
habanero?
Stay home habanero chocolate decaf coffee syrup.
Yeah, just gave it just a hint, a breath of sweetness,
Just a little bit of sweetness
and a breath of heat.
It's like the perfect. They really balance that so perfectly.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's up to my barista skills to balance it in the cup.
Oh, yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
sure,
I did
sure,
very
sure.
well.
I think you got lucky. Probably got a little lucky.
Honestly, my first sip caught me off guard how good it was. I was like, oh, I nailed it. I still got it.
I mean, that is like, it's funny because you did that, and it's like that's literally a drink we've been serving
Yeah,
for the last like at least month or so.
that's true.
It's a great drink. Come
Folks,
down, check it out.
And yeah,
Or,
littlefootcoffee.com.
Buy some for yourself at home. Make yourself at home. You can make that drink at home real easy
Super easy.
using our beans, though.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it won't taste nearly as good.
Any hoozle. Folks, this week, the Premier League welcomed Alex back in the worst possible way you can be welcomed back. A game that gives you literally not a moment of joy.
I didn't enjoy a single bit of it.
Didn't get a fun goal. Quick shady red card, and we were off to the races. Let's go.
Soccer situation.
Yeah, Alex, we just watched Liverpool host Chelsea, and I said we won that game, but I didn't enjoy a moment of it.
Yeah.
But safe to say you still had the worst of us this weekend, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It was a classic, like, those moments where you're just like, why do I ever, like, wish football to come back?
Every time, when you want it the
Like,
most is when it's going to hurt you the most.
It's just like, oh, it's back. Yes, I get to watch a game. And then it's, oh. I literally, like you said, I think I enjoyed, well, because I was working while watching it, too. I think I literally didn't enjoy a single minute of it.
Right?
Because I've had customers when they kicked off, so I didn't even get to see the first 20 minutes where we actually played with 11 men.
Customers, man. Wait,
Customers-
littlefootcoffee.com.
Customers, come in. Keep coming in. We need you.
Oh, that's funny. But Alex really is a total sweetie pie as a barista. It's funny.
Yeah, guys, don't worry.
I think it's funny watching you barista. I've
It
only
being
done
a-
it a couple times, but
being a barista is funny. I'm not like, I can make good drinks. I still can't do latte art for shit. I actually need you to train me on that before you leave town. That's what we need to work on.
hashtag latte art.
I
It's a
can't
waste
do
of time.
latte art. Honestly, my milk steaming is great. My drinks taste fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
just not going to pour you a Rosetta or anything on top of it.
I could teach you how. It's really easy.
Yeah. I honestly haven't really kept practicing, so I could probably get it eventually if I tried. But no, yeah, I like doing a little barista work occasionally.
Right.
Been doing a lot
it
of
is
roasting
fun.
right now, though.
It is fun. Yeah, you're busy.
Heavy
with
roasting
your
times.
Real job.
Yeah, roasting
coffee.
beans. Cooking beans at 360 pounds the other
Nice.
day. It's a lot of roasting.
Nice, dude. That's
It's
awesome.
funny because we used to do like 12,000 pounds in a day at Intelligentsia sometimes.
Talking different scales here, folks.
Yeah, very different
And
scales.
higher
here.
qualities of coffee.
Yeah.
Littlefootcoffee.com.
Check them out.
Yeah,
If you like those old Intelligentsia glory days of delicious coffee,
it's true.
check out Littlefoot Coffee. We're still
Pre-target,
slinging it over
pre-target
here.
blends. I hope Keenan doesn't listen. He's like, what the fuck? Catching strays over here.
That's right,
dude?"
boys. I know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
I worked with you fools. I don't know what kind of shenanigans are going on over there with Dominowski.
I've met that guy. I don't know anything about roasting, but I can vouch for those shenanigans.
Yeah, he's a maniac.
That dude is crazy.
One of my favorite maniacs on the planet. But
Yeah, the weekend I met him, he was very intentionally driving our brother Ian insane by playing the a cappella tapes of David Lee Roth singing "Running with the Devil." Is that the one?
yeah, I forgot about
and
that.
he did it again, and like to the point of enraging.
Yeah, I thought Ian was gonna kill him.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, who would have thought that Matt was that kind of prankster?
We'd be
dude?
chilling, and then you would just hear the opening gurgles of David Lee Roth in the background out of nowhere, dude.
And Ian could not handle it. He could not stand
He lost it, dude. It was amazing.
That was a good time. What a weekend that was.
I wonder if the Guantanamo boys know about that song, dude. That's a good torture song, apparently.
It's a great torture song, apparently.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long to take full effect.
I'm sure the CIA knows about that. Oh, they're like, a cappella David Lee Roth? You think we don't know
that's
about?
a classic.
Who do you think made a cappella David Lee Roth?
Yeah, exactly. The CIA made it just to torture people at Guantanamo. These are the kind of conspiracy theories I want.
Yeah, for sure. Very accurate, reasonable ones.
Yes, extremely reasonable.
Right?
Oh, that's funny stuff.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, man.
We need it after the week we've had.
Yeah.
Supermoon fucked us
Yeah.
up this week.
Hey, folks out there. How'd that supermoon do you guys? Because it screwed us over here.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny. We both had really rough weeks.
It's funny that we all I put it together like slowly over time, and I was like, wait a minute. The supermoon this week?
What were we doing yesterday? I can't remember. Alex just popped over, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I was
right?
just hanging out. You
for
got pizza.
Yeah,
You got pizza, and I was like,
I
all
was
right,
like,
I'm away.
I was like, man, to be honest, it's been a rough week. And you were like, me too, dude.
It's been the most depressing week ever, dude. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even know why. It's just depressed as hell.
Yeah.
And then it's like supermoon. Our good friend, friend of the pod and friend of Littlefoot Coffee, Andy, came in this week, also feeling the supermoon pain, just bumming out. We were all bumming out together.
Our gravity was off.
Yeah, what's happening? It's all right though. We're coming out of it.
We need goth babes on the pod to tell us, explain it to us.
We need any goth babe guests want to come on and explain what the hell the supermoon did to us.
I've been watching
during the
Agatha
week.
all along, but it's not. My education isn't complete.
It's still too early to know what truly happened to us.
Yeah, it's true.
You'll understand it one day.
Us in Altamont just got fucked up by the horoscopes, dude.
Should we talk about Altamont, dude? My first dive into the My Favorite Murder podcast finally.
I was gonna say Alex with the MFM shout this week. Usually that's on my podcast. Mount
That's your
Rushmore.
go-to normally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
my
talk that
go.
pod a lot.
But yeah, Alex brought it in. They covered at the Altamont, the tragedy at the Altamont Raceway concert.
Other than Matt and Shane's secret podcast, I've been kind of slipping on my comedy podcast thing, and I was like, I need something different in my life right now. I need a different vibe. And I was like, you know what? I should probably listen to a My Favorite Murder episode and just see. I was like, I know I'll like it if I listen to it.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah, they're entertaining ladies. And you got that was a Georgia story, I think.
I think it was a full Georgia story.
Yeah, and TBH, like no shade, but Karen is the natural story.
It's funny because I
just
thought
saying,
about
like,
turning it off at first. I'm glad I didn't because I liked the story.
Uh-huh.
But I thought about turning it off at first because I was like, this isn't really the true representation of My Favorite Murder because it's just the one side story.
Yes, yeah.
Even though you're getting the reactions of the other person still, which are funny.
Yeah, that is key too. Yeah, they started doing that more often just in the past year or two.
Yeah.
And it did bum me out at first, but then as I listen to those episodes, it doesn't actually bother me.
It's
They're
kinda
both
funny
there
'cause
in the room.
As somebody
still.
who doesn't listen to that podcast, I wouldn't really know. Yeah, because they were both there.
Exactly.
Usually when you hear that, it's like, oh, this is going to be a solo pod. And it's just
Yes.
going to be somebody telling a story, no reactions.
Yeah.
And that's different than what happened. So
No, you need those two dinguses. Because honestly, I'm not even like a big true crime person.
yeah.
I'm on board for those two.
Those two
dinguses.
people, yeah,
They're
they
funny,
sell it to you.
Really funny, like dichotomy of personalities.
Right.
Georgia's a very like naive. They're both like Southern California girls of different naivety levels.
Yeah.
Kara's actually like very cynical and kind of like a 80s goth.
Okay.
Recovered
okay.
goth.
Recovering goth.
And Georgia is just full blown ding dong that like
Yeah.
is like such a valley girl, and it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I enjoyed that episode a lot.
This was just gone into a full blown endorsement. It's funny.
That's
We
fine.
didn't even talk about Altamont.
That's fine.
But,
We didn't talk about Altamont. People should watch that episode or listen to that episode. And
Yeah. If you don't know, they hired the Hells Angels to do security for a massive music festival featuring the Rolling Stones. The Hells Angels stabbed a bunch of people to death. Yeah. And there was a comment by some hippie girl before it popped off who was like, It's crazy. They would have this music festival right now. The stars are like Scorpio's rising, and it means it seems like a really
It
good.
seems like a terrible time
seems
for
like-
things to do a festival
She
like
said
this.
specifically, it's like really. Seems
think it was
a
like
good time
Scorpio
for
rising.
violence or something.
Yeah, it was specifically violent.
Specifically mentioned violence, and
And then she was like, I guess they probably know what they're doing, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, well, apparently they didn't know
because
what
I
they
guess
were doing.
Woodstock was planned around the
Yeah, they
the
said
astrology.
astrologists help a lot with like planning festivals like that back then. I mean, they might still do now, but they did back then for sure.
They definitely don't now, but it's a nice thought.
It's funny though. It's
Yeah.
funny that of course Woodstock was obviously the hippie music festival was going to be having astrologists involved.
For sure.
But we were laughing too about the Grateful Dead. Speaking of hippies,
I was going to say that's another funny tidbit from that story.
the Grateful Dead bailing out when things started going chaotic.
Jerry saw it go back. I mean, Jerry is that wise old hippie. He surveyed the situation. Was like,
He's
this
seen some bad times
shit's
happening.
about to pop off. Dude.
They were
get
like,
out of here.
We're out of this place. Wild stuff though. Cool, interesting story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, pretty. I mean, yeah, people know. Again, the one last thing on Altamont is I did not know that the Rolling Stones documentary "Gimme Shelter"
that was the
features it all fall apart, including
the brutal murder.
yeah, exactly, the brutal stabbing that kind of sets it all up.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. And like this is one of those dark things where have you seen Gimme Shelter?
No, I haven't.
I've been like wanting to kind of watch it now, and I'm like I feel gross for wanting to watch it, but
I know what you mean. Well, that's the whole argument about this whole true crime boom right now is how much of it is like kind of like, you know,
glorifying murder.
Yeah. I think my favorite murder, they're very like careful about towing that line. Neither one of them are fans of like any kind of documentary or coverage that features the opinion of the killer.
Oh yeah,
like the Menendez brothers, that one that just came out, like actually has I think the killers in it giving their side of the story.
Yeah, which is like no,
And
that's not cool.
Yeah, and there, when there's other ones that are just exploitative,
Yeah.
and trashy. The one that pissed me off a lot was the one about the hotel in downtown L.A.
Oh yeah,
was
I didn't
like,
watch that, but
is
I know
it
the
haunted?
story.
Yada yada
The one
yada.
who died in the water tower.
Yeah, they present you with all these facts that make it so mysterious.
Yeah.
And like, was she crazy? Was she mental? And it
Yeah.
turned. And then at the end, they're like, "Oh no, she had clear like." I don't know if it was
Delusions.
autism or like schizophrenia.
Yeah, she had
but
like
she had like diagnosed mental health problems, a clear history of it, and the facts around the water tower. We lied to you, by the way. It wasn't actually like that.
Yeah.
She was clearly just suffering like some kind of attack and climbed in.
It was like a psychotic break she
Yeah,
had.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was so infuriating, dude.
That is the worst when you at the end you just find out that they're like, oh, this was all just a money grab to get me to watch this.
Because it I'll spoil it because it's so trashy. I don't care if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
The whole thing is built on the premise that the cap was back on top of the water tower, and it would have been impossible
For her
if
to
she
do
had
that.
climbed in herself. Yeah, to get it back on.
Yeah.
But then at the very end, they're like, "Oh, by the way, the cap wasn't actually on the water tower." So it's pretty obvious.
So
she just fell
obviously
in.
she just crawled in and fell in and died.
Yeah, it blows the whole anything interesting about the story. Touchdown.
Touchdown Lions.
We got some other football.
Oh, was I just talking about Brian Branch being awesome? Pick 6.
Folks, we have football Americano on television here in the background.
I was talking about how awesome that interception was, and he was awesome the last Lions game I watched too. And then this was it was a fumble recovery return. Nice.
I have no idea who he is.
He's a cool defensive player.
Cool.
Like a good defensive player, you know.
Yeah.
All action.
This is starting to be a pretty loosey-goosey episode. It's fine.
That's fine.
I double screened most of my football content this weekend with Citizen Con.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone out there jumped
guys
out
are-
of their seats when they heard that.
You guys
There's
are ready.
the
Now
huge-
you're locked into the pod.
the huge Star Citizen community that listens to this podcast.
Star Citizen people are locked in now.
Yeah.
Meaning Al.
Yeah,
It's locked in right
Al,
now.
hey, what's up, Al? Shout out, Al.
Shout out to
What
Al.
are you flying these days, Al?
Al, what are you flying these days? Todd and I have been deprived of video games for so long that I don't know what anyone's doing anymore.
I actually looked at my hangar in Star Citizen.
Just online?
Folks, if you don't know, it's like a space flight sim, space sim MMO.
Yeah.
And
Amazing
yeah,
game.
you had like you pledged to this. It's a crowdfunded game, so you pledge to it by buying ships. And I was like, what ships do I even have in my hangar?
What do I even own?
And I
right
looked
now?
through and was legit surprised. There's crazy ships in there that I don't even remember.
Remember buying?
The last one I bought was that Aegis Firebird, like that light stealth bomber.
Oh yeah.
I bought it like just to give a test flight, I think. And I think that was honestly like the day the storm destroyed our house.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
was like that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild stuff.
Yeah, that timeline. Yeah, it's all weird. I feel like COVID all over again, dude. I don't know what time is anymore.
Yeah, but no, honestly, my sense of time post-COVID is so weird.
It's completely broken.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we some casual football watching this week
Yeah, for sure.
during Citizen Con.
Yeah, I'm like, do I need to talk about Star Citizen? Watching Citizen Con is one of the funniest experiences you can have.
Is it just 'cause
like,
it's the
how
nerdiest thing you could possibly
insanely
do?
Yeah, it's such a like signature brand of nerdiness.
Yeah,
Because
it truly is.
Almost every presenter seems to be genuinely autistic,
Extremely
but they're
autistic.
also in the weirdest way like really confident. They all take huge fashion swings. They'll have like wildly dyed like hair and like crazy haircuts,
Crazy wacky glasses
They'll take
and
huge
things.
outfit swings too.
Yeah.
It's strange.
I love it. Dude.
And then have like no social skills to back up those like fashion
You're
choices.
like, oh, look at this. This was wow. Look at this person. And then they start talking, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. And the ones that like are kind of cocky and confident are all German, so all of their jokes fall completely flat anyway.
they're just like
They're
weird,
either
funny
German or Dutch,
jokes.
and they make little jokes. And that's the other funny thing is like they're doing these presentations about upcoming features and technology in the game.
Yeah.
And they always stop for applause breaks that they are personally anticipating in their speech.
Yeah, yes.
Which never line up with what people applaud to. They stop for expected applause
just
breaks
moment awkward
all the
moments of
time.
silence,
It's just
like
yeah.
awkward.
The crowd is equally fucking socially. Oops, bleep
Uh-oh.
that out. And
Cut that.
And yeah, there's just it leads to so much awkward silence.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It is it is a gathering of some of the most awkward humans on the planet.
Yeah, and they're all trying to like be. I don't know. They're just weirdly confident and loud.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre energy.
It's a weird mixture.
But I really love it. I watched it all, and I watched it all.
you-
I've watched it all every year since I got the game.
I mean, you consume all Star Citizen content, and a lot of it is extremely nerdy and weird.
Yeah, it's bad, but I'm obsessed with it.
You
dude.
love it. I mean, I get it.
It's
The game
like
itself, I'm
watching
obsessed with.
I actually have a note on here. It's kind of like watching 90 Day Fiance if you like that show.
Oh.
Those hopeless guys that are completely clueless about these women.
About
that
how
are,
terrible. Yeah.
It's the same. Everyone
same
in the Star
mentality.
Citizen has the same kind of 90 Day Fiance energy, where it's like kind of a train wreck, but like kind of sweet. But these guys, you're like, man, is this guy for real?
Yeah. Like, is he seriously this uncomfortable and awkward?
Yeah, it's pretty funny, man.
But what a game.
It is.
That's the game to end all games, as far as we're concerned.
It's this game that is like infamously like 10 years behind its development schedule.
Yeah.
They've raised like $1 billion to make it, and it's still pretty broken. It's in early access still.
Yeah, a lot of times the game is unplayable.
But I'm as optimistic as ever. I always get pilled when this
When
convention
Citizen Con comes
around.
out.
I get so pilled. They really, truly, laid out the framework of what the published game is going to look like this year.
Nice.
Which they've never done before. And that's I got
actually
stoked
got-
on that. Even more so than the fancy like trailers and features and new fun ships and stuff. The fact that they just spelled out what the published game looks like.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, dude, let's go.
Yeah,
This
right?
that sounds like a real complete game.
That
what you
sounds
just
like they have
described.
a plan of things. So it's like nice when you can see they actually have an end in sight now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, there's a way to wrap this up in a way to actually finish this game.
The single player game that launches before it's called Squadron 42. It's like a cinematic single player game set in the same universe, which they showed 20 minutes of game
gameplay
live gameplay footage from. Features Henry Cavill, by the way, which is awesome. Yes. Cavill's a cool
Cavill's an icon amongst
he's a
the
cool
nerds,
stud
dude.
pilot in it, dude. It looks
yeah.
awesome. His appearance was
That was the first.
I was into that.
The first time I saw Squadron 42, it blew my mind. The caliber of people they had in it.
It has every cool Irish actor in it.
Everyone's in it, dude.
Plus Gary Oldman's in it.
Gary Oldman's in it.
Who's the
for
cool,
God's sakes.
tall Irish like general? That's like Gary Oldman's like and then Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, Gillian
X Files is in it.
Yeah,
The
dude,
ca-
it's
the
insane.
cast is
The
insane.
cast is
Yeah.
insane. Henry Cavill's involved. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
Cavill's a stud pilot. Gary Oldman's the admiral. Gillian Anderson is like the captain of like one of the huge guns. Yeah, it's
So
fucking
awesome,
sick.
dude.
It's sick.
Hey,
dude.
at least they're putting that $1 billion raised to good work, dude.
I'm probably gonna have to edit so much of this out.
No, dude, we'd leave us all in. We're going CitizenCon pod from now on.
If I ever have the time and bandwidth, I will so quickly start a Star Citizen like Patreon or
a podcast about it. Yeah,
podcast. That'll be the first imprint on the Soccer Situations media empire.
Okay, yeah, a Star Citizen themed pod.
Yeah, I would love that.
Hell yeah.
I mean, honestly, if the game does come together and launch the way they promise it, y'all are all going to know about this game. It's going to be the biggest
It'll be the
game
biggest
ever.
video game
it
ever.
It will be the biggest thing ever.
If they achieve what
pull
they're
it
trying
off.
to do,
Yeah.
they're going to change video games for a lot of people.
Yeah.
We don't need to keep talking about
No,
it.
let's move
Guess
on.
we should talk about soccer.
Should we let's actually go
I
to
don't
some
really care
games.
because I don't want to talk about the games this weekend. So.
In studio, we just watched Liverpool host Chelsea.
Todd, much more tense than me, obviously, for some reason.
I did a little bit of yelling here at Little
You
for
did a little
coffee.
screaming.
For the first
Luckily,
time.
we're
I
closed
think.
for business today, so
Yeah.
no customers were offended.
I did have the instinct for like half a second. Oh, fuck. Should I yell like that here? I'm like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no one's here.
Doesn't
Just
fucking
us.
matter. The woodchuck outside is the only one that's going to be
Yeah,
mad about
dude,
it.
he's digging his tunnel underneath us right now.
Yeah, there were a couple calls in that game that upset me.
Well, I mean, we're all a bit on edge with referees these days.
I know.
So
There was a headline in The Athletic this week that was bragging VAR mistakes are down 80% this year. I'm like, okay,
there
be
shouldn't
any?
be VAR mistakes. That's the whole point of VAR.
Yeah. And secondly, if you're trying to present the story that refereeing has dramatically improved,
Yeah.
I haven't been given that impression yet. I've
Doesn't
seen
seem like it to
a
me.
couple good games.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen a good game from Michael Oliver, who I hate most of all. But I'm
long as
still
he's not-
seeing a lot of stuff that is shady.
As long as he's not managing a game that directly affects Man City, he can
Right.
probably do a decent job of that.
Yeah, I was dropping conspiracy bombs in the Liverpool game today because he was on
He's on VAR duty,
yeah.
which obviously will get your blood pumping a little bit. Worried about that.
There was a whistle early in the game, folks, with Jota center in the box, received the ball through. Would have been a great chance for a goal.
Yeah.
And Reece James dove for a foul.
Such a
That
dive,
was
dude.
An insane dive. We got the classic commentators looking at it from three angles, seeing it's a dive and not correcting
not
themselves,
saying
not
anything about it.
acknowledging it whatsoever. Because I'm
Literally
pretty
a
sure they're
hand
not-
on the back turned into like a full thrust forward flop.
Yeah, there was nothing in that, dude. It was wild.
Yeah, that's frustrating stuff.
Liverpool came out winners despite my attitude. Goals from Curtis Jones and a Salah penalty.
Yeah, so Curtis Jones finished. We were criticizing his first touch as being so horrible, and then we saw an angle and we're like, that was actually a really good finish, though.
Yeah, it was a good
The
finish.
way he poked it just
His
past the
second- he
keeper was
recovered,
really
yeah.
nice.
First touch bad, second touch good. It
Yeah,
happens sometimes.
It happens.
For
he made
me,
up for it.
if I'm going to praise anyone, the story for me was Darwin Nunez coming on for an injured Diogo Jota, which is concerning.
Which is funny because before the game, I was like, man, where's Darwin at?
Yeah.
And then I was laughing at myself because I've always been like, man, they need to play Jota more. Like when Jurgen didn't play Jota as much.
Right.
I was like, man, why,
You missed
now
Darwin.
Diogo's in there, and I'm like, oh man, where's Darwin at?
Yeah, you got both today. But seriously, Darwin came on, and he was involved in so many amazing defensive plays, clearances.
He kept tracking back and winning the ball back with like nice standing tackles.
He can play the first ball out for a counterattack. You think he would be at the tip of it.
Yeah.
But he often played that first ball today, that
You know,
killer
what
first
reminds
pass.
me a bit of
Who's that?
little Olivier Giroud
I thought you were going to say Bentner.
coming in deep. Yeah, Nicholas Bentner dropping deep like that, and starting the whole team flowing forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good shout. And I know how much you rate Giroud, so I'll take that compliment.
Yeah,
I'll take that remark.
No, it was fun to watch Darwin today.
Yeah, he was awesome today. He really caught my eye. He was all over the place, both ends of the singular pitch. And yeah, he was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was great.
I love seeing that from him. Don't mind if he doesn't get a goal when he plays like that.
Yeah, no, yeah. When he's affecting the game that much, and it was a pretty entertaining game for the most part.
It was. It was one of those ones where I was so tense I didn't enjoy it. But if I look back, I'll probably see some more stuff that I like.
Right?
What do you think?
I think so. I think you'll see more that you like. I think. Also, I don't know if it's just my bias mentally, but like I feel like the commentators were talking up Chelsea's moments in the game so much more than Liverpool's moments in the game.
Yeah,
and I really didn't think Chelsea were all that threatening, considering,
I didn't know this is one of those times where me and Alex might have smoked pot before the game, And I actually wasn't sure if I was just being a paranoid fan, but
Yeah.
I thought the commentator was being so biased against Liverpool the whole time.
Yeah, no, I do
Just
think
like
he was
in a very low
subtly
way,
anti-Liverpool.
Just like it reminded me, I think I made the comparison during the game. It kind of reminded me of the old days of Martin Tyler, who's a diehard United fan,
Just hated
calling
Liverpool.
a Liverpool game, even if it's not against United. Just you can hear the attitude in his
just
voice a
hates
little
Liverpool.
bit, like. They did something good, and then
Yeah.
if they do something bad, he's like, "Oh,
He gets very excited about it.
Yeah,
It did feel a bit
I was
like that.
feeling that today, but I can be guilty of imagining that too.
Oh yeah, that
So-
happens. That's why I'm saying like I hate Chelsea, so it's I could be a little biased as well, but I don't think Chelsea were all that threatening.
No,
And we've talked up Chelsea quite a bit so far this season.
there was definitely. I don't think anyone can deny there was a huge block of that game, 30+ minutes, I would say, where Liverpool had a stranglehold on it. We were in complete
looked very
control.
comfortable.
To flip it and praise Chelsea a little bit, we did see flashes of that Madueke Cole Palmer combo.
We talked about how
that
insanely deadly that right side
Alex
is.
and I are officially terrified of that duo.
Yeah.
One of the best attacking duo, Batman Robin duos right now in the league, right?
I think
if you
so.
think of like a specific 2-person tandem,
Yeah.
the chemistry is off the charts.
The
with
way
those
they
two right
link
now,
up
dude.
and they're both so quick and
they're both capable
they're
of
very
providing
deadly.
and scoring. Although it seems like there is
favoritism toward one.
favoritism. Yeah, it seems like Palmer is putting it away, and Madueke
Yeah.
is creating a lot,
Creating
But
so many
They're
chances.
definitely capable of flipping that. I guess Madueke was gassed. Less effective in the second half, but I
Yeah.
was still surprised and relieved to see him go off. As a Liverpool fan, I was like, "Cool."
Right, and
Yeah,
then on the other
snuff
side,
that
you were a little disappointed to see Pedro Neto come on for Jadon
Yeah,
Sancho.
opposite reaction. I was like, "Damn
They
it!"
flipped
dude.
the flanks on you.
They did. They did flip the effective flanks, and Sancho's
Sancho went off.
absolute uselessness in that first half was so comfy.
Yeah,
And then, I don't.
Pedro Neto
Pedro
comes
Neto's
on.
good. He had chances. Maybe he should have tucked one away.
maybe.
Did he miss one good chance? I
I
don't
feel
know.
like he had some decent chances
But,
though immediately.
We rate the dude, which is actually a good transition into the next game.
Yeah,
We're kind
where
of
he came from.
We're kind of going to shamelessly go stick to the title race here, and
That's all right.
so let's talk
That
about
happens.
Wolves hosting City. Goddamn tragic finish to this one, Alex.
Of course, Todd and I watching it before we leave to come do the pod,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Oh man, 1-1." We're just waiting for that moment. We're like,
I
get
think
in the car
I think
to
in
leave.
like the 89th minute, I was like, "Oh, we gotta go." Close to the laptop.
Yep. And we showed up, and he goes, "Oh, did you see the headline? What happened to the City game?" And I opened it up, and I was like, "God,
We got the
damn
worst
it.
news. We're fucking Supermoon was back, dude.
Supermoon got us again."
Supermoon snuck
Super
back
Blue
and
Moon.
slapped us. Ugh. I hated that.
It's terrible, but they got us. I meant that in a negative
No, that
way,
was a good
City
one, dude.
fans.
That was a good one.
I meant that in a terrible way because I don't like the Supermoon anymore.
Look at Alex knowing so much about Manchester City culture.
Dude, don't get me. I mean, Todd, we don't have enough time to get into that background. We don't have enough time to get into that background.
That's hilarious, dude.
The trauma. He was turning this into a therapy session, Todd.
Patreon content.
I can get into my trauma if you want.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
No, but yeah, City 90 plus 5. John Stones of all people.
Poor Wolves still winless.
How?
Battle. They're not a
They're
bad
battling
team.
so hard and they can't get anything.
They are not a bad team. They
No.
almost got points against Liverpool, probably deserved points against City, and they got very little on the board right now. It
Yeah,
sucks
the
for them.
poor Wolves.
I hope they stick by it. It's Gary O'Neill, right? Still
Yeah.
there? I'm doubting it because of the form they're in, but I hope they stand
think-
by him because they don't look bad.
They don't look bad. They'll come out of this. If they're just on a hard run right now.
Yeah.
If they can they'll start bouncing back.
Poor Wolves. Do you think of that in the last few years? They've lost Jota, Pedro Neto, and Raul Jimenez, who we'll come back to Raul Jimenez
Ouch.
later in this pod, actually.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Tough for Wolves to lose those attackers.
Yeah. Yeah, they've lost some good players over the years. And like replacing that is not easy.
Let's move on, Alex. What's next on the agenda?
It's a game that never happened.
Yeah.
Bournemouth v Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal take the bullet in
2-0
the title race
nil.
this week. Yeah, I can kind of picture the title race like one of those baseball races where like 3 M&Ms have to run around the bases, you know?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's always,
One always
one
falls.
stumbles and then it gets back up and it's always changing like Mario Kart.
Yeah, yeah.
Today, Arsenal
took the fall.
stumbled at first base.
Man. the most frustrating kind of stumble. Like we've talked about, we both respect Bournemouth a lot.
Yeah.
As a really good side. We like
Areola.
Iraola.
Yeah, he's Spanish. Say it the way you want.
He's he's
cool.
Great manager. Seems like a cool guy.
Yes.
Losing a man in like the 30th minute though is just, and your best defender at that.
Exactly. It's not just any man.
Literally losing your probably best player, honestly.
Future Real Madrid star William Saliba.
No, he's Arsenal through and through, Todd.
But
losing Saliba at the 30 minutes into a match is about as brutal as it gets. I thought it sucks because we lost, we ended up losing 2-0. David Araya gave away a late penalty, but I thought we fought well enough for a while there.
Same. That was the impression. To be honest, this is one of the games I was double screening with Citizen Con.
Yeah.
But
I think I haven't consumed a lot of obviously media over that game because I just didn't want to.
Yeah, I love doing that. But no soccer podcasts for me this week.
I feel like I saw some memes and things online about Arsenal not really playing well, but I thought we had. Once things settled in, I thought we had plenty of moments. I mean, you got to play the situation. Again, against City, everyone was bitching about Arsenal defending. It's like, you have to play what's in front of you. If you're playing with 10 men, you have to play the way you're going to have to play. And it wasn't pretty all the time.
Right.
But we had our chances.
You did.
We could have gotten something out of that game still.
Yeah, you can't disrespect Bournemouth. You can say, they're not Manchester City, but they're dangerous.
Yeah, but when they step up and put you under pressure, you have to be on. You have to be locked in.
They know how to press you.
And we suddenly had a makeshift back four that we weren't. Jakob Kivior playing right center back. I don't think I've ever seen him play right center back.
Yeah, I hate that. That's terrifying stuff.
Horrifying stuff.
A
player who almost left at the end of the window.
Oof.
And then suddenly he's playing right center back, a position we've never seen him in.
Stressful stuff.
It's very stressful. But yeah, heartbreaking return to the Premier League.
Bummer, dude.
Thank God we have Champions League this week. Get to bounce back. But, also, not to mention the fact that we face Liverpool next weekend without our best player now.
Things are looking sunny. No, I don't know. No, I'm not going to act like I'm mad about that.
Yeah. No, it's a good. That's a huge bonus for
this
Liverpool.
That game is going to be interesting no matter what.
Yeah,
that game is going to be.
It was going to be tense with or without Saliba.
Yeah, I think that game is going to be a reiteration of today's game for me in a sense. That's a game I'm not going to enjoy watching.
Yeah,
it's going to be tense.
I don't think either of us will enjoy watching that game.
Alex and I probably won't be so keen to watch that one in the same room with each other.
It's true. We might have to. Yeah, we'll get reactions once we've cooled off for that one.
We've done okay with that, but this is definitely one of the higher stakes editions of. Is it Arsenal Liverpool or Liverpool Arsenal?
Do
you know?
I don't know. I
want to say.
I think we're at home.
I think we're away. Yeah.
I think we're at home.
Because I remember when I was looking at the
talking about how terrible your
run.
schedule was.
Yeah, I remember a lot of the big ones were away.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be. I lost my train of thought a bit there.
Sorry.
Yeah, so it is at the Emirates.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about. Different point than obviously Arsenal Liverpool next weekend, but Saka obviously a huge blow.
Yeah.
For Arsenal, losing our best defender and then our best forward, not even making the squad for the weekend.
So, what happened with that talk of him being ready for this weekend, and then he was missing in action?
I don't know if
is there a chance he'll be back next week now?
I don't know. We don't know. There's been like I said, I haven't consumed any of the media, so I haven't seen anybody talking about him, whether he's going to be fit or not. Or if, maybe this was a decision where he was kind of on a borderline and they just rested him thinking we have Liverpool next weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case because Saka just kind of plays through everything anyway, usually. So something's clearly wrong with him. But yeah, we potentially could face Liverpool without Saliba, Odegaard, and Saka.
That's tough stuff.
It could be absolutely brutal stuff.
Tit for tat, we did lose Jota today,
that's
but
true.
that's still not equivalent to losing those three.
Yeah, but that's a rough loss, and we'll see. We don't know yet what happened to him either. He limped off pretty early.
Walked off on his own, off the play. So he definitely felt something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, yeah, depressing comeback to the Premier League for Arsenal. This is where it sucks because it's like I hate feeling so defeated this early in the season. But this is the way I think we've talked about this on the pod before. This is the way Man City make you feel.
Yep, absolutely.
Where it's like, it feels like this is it. And the season's just getting started, really.
I was going to say, you have to remember that they've already dropped 4 points too.
It's true. It's true.
They've already dropped 4. They're going to drop more.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but
they don't look as invincible as they have right now.
Wolves should have taken points off of them today.
Yep. Yeah. They look a little shaky at times. So I don't know. I still think we're in for a very tense title race all the way down, with Liverpool strongly involved so far as well.
We'll see. This was the kickoff for the
run,
the slot,
the infamous run
gauntlet. Yeah. I think, honestly, like I said, I was yelling a little bit, stressed out during that game.
Yeah.
I've been a little fearful of Chelsea lately.
Yeah.
And
this was the first real test, so there's a lot of tense build up to this. Are we real or is this fake?
I think as I settled down in real time, I'm actually really stoked with that Liverpool performance.
Yeah, you should be.
At the very least,
against a really good Chelsea team.
Because we really, like, the teams we've played up until now have been pretty lightweight.
Yeah.
So this was a heavyweight, and I do think we were the better team in this game, despite, different, it ebbed and flowed here and there.
Of course.
But I think, with...
I think you deserve to win it.
With a slight, rub of the green, like, we could have put up a convincing number today.
For sure.
I liked what I saw.
Yeah, no, it's a good result. And like you said, the beginning of a real hard test.
Yeah. That was where I meant that thought to end up at, is like, this was just the beginning.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, and we got another big one next week. I suppose I'll get more confident week by week. That's how it works, right?
That's how it goes, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we talk a little bit just on the Arsenal Bournemouth note. We talked about cursed kits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is this one already on its way to being a cursed kit for Arsenal?
What do you think?
I'm saying yes, just because I don't like it.
Yeah. That's always helpful when it looks cursed.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this thing's ugly. And then you lose some big games in it.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, well, can we stop wearing it now, please?
Yeah. The infamous one for Liverpool, there was like, what do they call it? Like, something citrus, like new citrus or something like that. That neon yellow one. It was one of the Warrior ones, I think.
Yep.
I don't think we ever won a game in that. That was a very famously cursed
kits.
Yeah.
Cursed kits are a real thing.
Definitely.
They definitely are.
We had a teal third, I think, that was cursed. Yeah, it happens.
So far, I think Arsenal, too, the wearing the all whites we've done for like the charity thing, which I'm all about the charity aspect of it, but can we stop wearing the all white kits?
You get smoked every time.
We embarrass ourselves every time we wear them. And it's always against like bad opposition, too, like in a cup game or something, and we just play so horribly.
Folks, does your club have a cursed kit?
Yeah, let's hear about your cursed kits. Comment down below.
Hit us up on the socials.
Let us know what your famous cursed kits are. I think Arsenal fans, a lot of them would say that teal kit that I liked from Puma was a cursed
one.
kit. Yeah, the mint kit was a cursed kit as well.
I do remember seeing in the Reddits the cursed kit.
That's a cursed kit.
Terminology there.
That's a cursed kit that I actually enjoyed, but it is a cursed kit based on performance.
Sometimes I like a cursed kit. Yeah.
Visually can be nice still.
Yeah. Yeah, there've been a couple that I like.
But the curse can be undeniable.
Yep. It goes both ways. We posted, about kits being goated by a big performance.
It's true.
Like Liverpool's third and the 3-0 against United. It goes both ways.
It does. It absolutely does.
Man, I can't wait to see us in Adidas next year. Oh, actually, that's a funny thing to bring up. Let's keep talking about Liverpool, Todd. But no, this is actually more about Nike and Adidas. I joked about how Liverpool are always behind the fashion times, right?
Yeah,
we, as soon as we got on Nike started being the lame company.
Yeah, they started being the worst one.
Adidas was just dropping fire all over the place.
Yep.
And now we're going to go back to Adidas. Nike's probably going to get awesome again.
Well,
I saw a post this week saying that all Nike kit next year is going to be like Total 90 throwback themed.
Damn.
What if Nike just drops tons of fire Total 90 stuff?
It's hilarious because I've been complaining about Adidas this year.
Yeah, people are starting to.
The copycat kits.
Yeah, the templates are rampant from Adidas lately.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where, Liverpool is just a cursed team when it comes to kits, maybe?
We might be overall. We're never
You're not a kit team.
Never been the most fashionable team, I don't think. But Yeah, dude. You watch in the next couple years, Nike's gonna bring back Total 90. Arsenal's gonna go back to Nike, and then they're gonna
Get some
have just
sick Total 90 gear.
ass like Henri throwback Total 90 gear.
Yeah, I hope so. Now I got to kind of get me pumped on Nike again.
Yeah. If they successfully brought back that wave, it would go.
Of Total 90
it would
stuff?
go over really well.
It would definitely go over well.
It fits like current
Now
Gen
is the
Z
time,
fashion.
yeah,
It
for
does.
Total 90 stuff to come popping back.
It
That's kind of exciting, actually.
Yeah. If that's true, I've
Even
only
though Arsenal
it
won't be
was
with
from
it, but-
Footy Headlines, who are pretty reliable in that realm.
Yeah, they
but
do
it
a good
didn't
job.
have any details
of
except
course.
that their new stuff is supposed to be Total 90.
Like that's part of the plan for next season.
Mm-hmm,
That's cool. I like it.
Mm-hmm,
We can hope. Okay, speaking of Adidas, Trent
Oh yeah,
on his way to Madrid, possibly.
I think it's likely at this point. Honestly, I'm not even gonna say possibly. I think he gone, dude.
Yeah,
If he was gonna extend to Liverpool, why
he
would
would have
waited
already
to this
stayed.
point?
Yeah. That's pretty upsetting.
All the telltale signs, like the stars are, we want to keep an astrology theme. They're aligning. I'm seeing patterns in the sky.
Yeah.
Namely, Marca has piped up.
Oh,
which
Marcus
is
talking finally, huh?
Madrid's unofficial mouthpiece.
Yeah.
They have officially declared Trent Madrid's top target.
Well, that makes me feel better because not long ago, someone else was claiming that Saliba was the top target. So
Yeah.
I'll take that switch, I guess.
It's Trent now, apparently.
Well, the thing about Trent is they're going to get Trent on a free.
Exactly.
And then they'll still can splash the money on Saliba if they want to.
Yes. The article in question did point to them moving to a model of like waiting for players to run down their contracts. We've seen Mbappe is obviously the most famous case.
Yeah.
But
They're like, "Ooh, this is nice. We don't have to pay, We don't have to give someone $100 million for a player.
Turns out, if they're in their prime and just wait.
Just
if
wait.
they're not aging out.
Just let them know you're interested.
Exactly. That's the key.
Bastards.
So I'm stealing myself for it. I really think it's gonna happen, dude.
It's not looking great.
No.
Yeah, and I mean the best thing to do is to prepare for the worst, and then if he ends up staying, you'll be thrilled. But
Exactly. If I wake up one morning and see he signed to Ting, it's gonna be awesome.
it's going to be exciting. But yeah, prepare yourself for heartbreak.
Yeah. I'm pretty prepared, dude. He's saying weird statements. He's just
Yeah, that sucks.
he's gone.
That
dude.
sucks. I hate that, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who's been through that with some players in the past,
It's gonna be so much worse because I
painful.
think there's like Virgil's probably gonna exit with him, and Mo I genuinely don't know about. But
Yeah.
it's so
He's a wild
odd
card.
because a year ago I would have predicted him out the door and the other two to sign
stay.
extensions.
yeah,
It's strange stuff. But I'm convinced Trent's gone.
that sucks.
I would be stunned if
if
goes
he
the
stays
other
at
way.
this point,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a bummer.
Huge bummer, dude.
Yeah, that's a huge loss.
We have a young talent in Connor Bradley behind him, but no one's got that right foot like Trent has. Dude.
No one does, and like being a homegrown player, like
Him being
scouser.
a scouser, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. That's hard to lose like one of your own who's like truly a spectacular talent.
Yeah, brutal stuff, dude.
Hurts.
It's a bummer because, we'll just put a pin in that.
I mean, as somebody who's lost Cesc Fabregas to Barcelona in the prime of his career,
Yeah,
he wasn't even Arsenal through and through.
but that he was there from like what 16.
But he started at like 15, 16 for
Yeah.
Arsenal, so he was a bit of a Arsenal kid.
Yeah, tough stuff, dude.
Should we talk USA corner?
Yeah, let's.
Should we talk about Jimenez again?
Raul Jimenez destroyed Mauricio Pochettino's USA.
The
men's
positivity,
national
the
team.
balloon is the Poch balloon already burst for USA.
Apparently, Mexico dominated in that game.
Yeah, I heard it was not pretty. I
think
heard
it's
it was
pretty fun.
not pretty.
It's funny because Berhalter, one of his last games, was an away win against Mexico, I think, in pretty trying circumstances.
Yeah,
And
which is a big result for the U.S., obviously.
Yeah.
And Poch is...
Honestly, just months ago, I do feel like I was under the impression that Mexico was a disaster and U.S. was miles ahead of them.
That's what I was understanding as well. Like, when I saw and heard this result, I was like, wait, isn't that Mexico team supposed to be a mess right now?
Just in the worst shape of all time.
Yeah.
But
But apparently they absolutely worked over.
More
the
importantly,
US.
they had those awesome fucking kits on, dude. The kind of
Fast
like
kits.
peacocky, like Aztec art. And for this particular game, they had limited edition Day of the Dead lettering too on the back. Did you see? Oh, it was
I
very,
didn't see that. That is so hot.
very, very
I'm
cool
going to
stuff.
look those up.
Yeah, well,
That's gonna be a
I'll
grail.
try and
That might
post
be a
some-
grail kit one day.
Yeah, it was. If you could get it with that lettering, I don't know how possible that is.
I know, right?
I didn't look to see if it was available for retail.
That's
or if
so
it was
sick,
like just
though, dude.
player issue. It was sick, dude. It looked awesome.
That's awesome.
Anyway, yeah, Mexico smacked us around. So we were briefly on the USA bandwagon. We back off it.
We're off
Go
again.
Mexico, dude.
Well, Pulisic didn't play either, so we're big Pulisic guys
That's
over here
true.
now.
We're
So
big Pulisic
yeah,
bandwagon.
yeah. So he didn't even play, so it doesn't mean anything.
We're like the Egyptian fans that like only like Liverpool for Salah.
Yeah, exactly. They'll all jump ship as
Big
soon as he's
Pulisic
gone.
guys. Huge Pulisic guys. We're big Pulisic guys on this podcast.
Of course, always have been. Always have been.
Anyway, oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to laugh about, interesting story. The two Los Angeles MLS teams apparently traded first spot in the West division. Sorry, I'm watching a football Americano.
Washington Little Lions.
But yeah, the top spot for the playoffs in the West flipped back and forth within 3 times in 6 minutes last night.
Oh, wow.
First, LAFC went up and took the top spot. The Galaxy equalized in their game, which put them back on top. And then LAFC scored, I think, a 97th minute winner to take the top spot back. So
I like that LA rivalry though.
yeah, I'm into
Heated
that.
LA rivalry you're gonna be moving into.
I know, dude. I got it, and
That's exciting.
I have no commitments yet. I'm gonna decide.
Who are you gonna pick, dude? Who are you gonna pick?
Win for me,
Do you go for the glory of the history of David Beckham?
right?
Do you fall for the charm and beauty of Olivier Giroud?
The beautiful Art Deco branding of LAFC.
Yeah, their Art
Although-
Deco branding is.
Am I over black and gold? I kind of feel like I'm over black and gold.
It's
a
kind of
little bit.
overused these days. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of everywhere now.
When LAFC's branding first hit, I was like, "That's so
Like
sick."
this is the best
They're
thing ever. Black and gold.
And now when I see like the retro Galaxy stuff, I like that so much more.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah, I
bit
think
of color.
we need to take a little breather from black and gold kits for a minute, and then
Yeah.
let them come back good again.
Although I dismissed that Athens Calethea third blackout kit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we saw further media posts of that this week that indicated it's nighttime reflective. All the stuff on it.
which is sick, dude.
The photos for that were awesome too.
It's funny. Earlier, I was wondering. I almost brought it up, and then I second guessed myself because I was like, "Was that a new group of shots, or am I just behind?" Because sometimes you swipe
Yeah.
through Instagram,
Yeah, yeah.
it'll show you stuff that's weeks old as it's new.
Mhm.
So I thought maybe
True.
I was just out of touch
No,
with
that
all
was-
the photos.
I don't think that was the same photographer. Those look like more amateur shots.
Yeah, they look good though.
They did. They looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But they looked more like DIY, like punk
It's
shots.
true. Yeah, like
they
kind of
weren't the
blurred
very.
out.
They weren't
and
the.
there's like the color.
Yeah, they weren't the kind of classical portraiture of the original.
Yeah.
Which we had an awesome slideshow of in our last episode. If you didn't watch
Check
us
it
on
out.
the YouTubes,
Um,
and funny slideshow of Klopp endorsements too. Did you see that?
did I?
You didn't watch.
I
it,
didn't
so
even watch our own
listen.
episode.
It's fine. I mean, it would be weird for you to sit down and watch a full hour episode.
It's true.
Of us.
It's true.
But yeah, I put a slideshow of Klopp endorsements.
I should
in
start
there.
going through them a bit more though. Now that you're doing more editing.
Well, I do. If I need to be a responsible producer and pull clips and post individual clips to the socials,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we can actually get some growth in this fucking
Yeah,
thing.
start getting some people actually listening. To
Oh,
us
I need to
ramble.
be doing that. Oh, it stresses me out. It's so hard to find time, Alex.
Why is life so hard, man?
I know. What was the trifecta I was talking about? Oh, you want to have a job that
Oh,
actually
yeah.
pays all of your bills. Oh, and you want to take care of your health, have time to exercise and cook healthy meals. Oh, and you want to have a creative project too and do that
And
to
enjoy
a high
something on
standard
side.
and have personal things. No, dude, you can't do all
No,
those things.
not here in America.
One of them is going to collapse every single time. dude.
One of them will fall apart on you when you start showing a little more interest in one. The other one will collapse completely.
1,000%. That's my life, dude.
Story, yeah, dude. It is so hard.
Start
It
trying
is-
to make more money immediately. I haven't run in like a week and a half.
Yep.
Just,
Then you start feeling bad. You start feeling sad for about that.
yep.
Supermoon.
Soccer situations.
Soccer situations is going extremely well, people.
Supermoonsituations.com.
Supermoon situations has got us all fucked up over here.
For real. Unbelievable, dude.
Uh,
You know what's a funny side story? Let's go to jokes.
yeah. Let's give.
Did you
give me
hear
some
about
stuff.
this Korean
No, I
footballer
want to
that
hear
got
about this.
So he had secretly filmed a couple sex partners in the past.
Uh-oh.
Had him on the old laptop. Dude, his sister-in-law, his asshole brother's wife, found him on his laptop and tried to blackmail him.
She tried to blackmail him for it?
Yeah, but he didn't play it at all, dude. He called her out, called the cops, sent her to jail for 3 years for attempted blackmail. He flipped it on her.
He flipped her. He threw the Uno reverse card up on her.
He did. He did face charges for the videos.
Okay.
To be honest, obviously I don't want to defend sex crimes.
Of course.
But I think he only did a couple videos. It was with people he was in relationships with, and he wasn't sharing them or posting them anywhere.
I was going to say, the only saving grace he has in my mind was the fact that he hadn't shared them.
It was his
anywhere.
personal
It was just
collection.
on his personal laptop.
I mean, ask the girl, dude. But
Yeah,
also,
never tape anybody without them knowing. That's
he was Dennis Reynolds in it.
But the funny thing is that he was just using it for his personal collection. Is kind of funny.
Yeah, personal spank.
Spank bank to the point where it's just modern spank bank. We're living in a world where we don't have to use our brains to remember things anymore.
It was the asshole sister-in-law that shared them on social media. She shared them eventually.
She put them out.
That's what it says. Yeah, in an attempt to blackmail him.
Isn't it funny when people do that? Like when it's like you realize you're hurting people more.
Yeah.
You're hurting the victims more than he did.
You're trying to
putting
take the
this
high
out in the
road,
public.
but really you're the bigger. I mean, it's so.
Apparently
good for
she got
Korea. Yeah, they ruled the right way, unlike a Premier League referee, and they put her away, dude.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't realize she put him out too. That's terrible.
He issued a good old apology, but pretty wild story there.
That is funny. That's a fun, wild story.
Right?
Korean football coming in with the headlines.
Love some drama, dude. Handsome
K-drama.
guy too.
Ooh, he's a very handsome guy.
Right? I didn't recognize him.
Does he
Hwang
play
Lee
in
Jo.
Korea?
No, he played, I think, in the championship. He played for Forest.
Oh, he played for Forest. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Little side note.
I have so few stories this week. What? Anything else for you?
Oh, do I have anything else going on this week? I don't think so. Been just busy roasting coffee, Todd.
Nice.
Littlefootcoffee.com.
Situation.
Just promo code situations. Get on it.
Should I do a whisper pod, drive Alex insane?
Don't start whispering. I hate whispering so much.
You can start eating on Mike to get back at me. Who did you compare to the king in Lord of the Rings? You'll cut that out.
cut that. Yeah. Yeah. You know who it is now. You remember.
I figured it out.
Yep. Great. That was a great comparison, though. I mean, how accurate it is.
It killed me.
That is literally one of my least favorite scenes in all cinema.
Can't watch it.
It makes me want to die
I'll
when
get
I
up
listen
and
to
leave,
it.
dude. Yeah. I have physically put my fingers in my ears like a little kid, dude.
I'm not even the type of person where that really bothers me with people. Like, it's very, situational for me when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But that one there is
It's so disgusting.
the
dude.
worst. I'm like, how did you film that without, who was listening to that? Those poor people, in the audio.
Well, it's like old school Peter Jackson, dude, because before he did Lord of the Rings, he did super gross out, low budget horror movies.
Oh.
He's like,
So he loves a gross
he's like,
out.
You want to make something disgusting? I got this.
Damn it, dude. He's good at it then.
Yeah,
'cause
he's really
that
good
was
at
the
it.
worst.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, dude.
I can't listen to people eat
Eating
like
sounds?
that.
Come on.
No.
I'm
No.
Glassman that, dude. You trying to eat on Mike? Oh, I'll get you.
Yeah.
I love when Rick Glassman gets mad about that.
He gets super. I mean, he's right.
Yeah.
I love it. Episode recently I was watching with him when somebody was trying to joke about it.
Mhm.
They started to do it into the mic, kind of ha ha ha, and he was like,
No, seriously.
no, this is not.
I get the exact same.
This
way.
is not a
like,
joke.
Seriously, don't even joke about it.
I'm
It's annoying.
legit mad. I legit hate this, which is good. You gotta have boundaries, people.
Totally valid.
Gotta have your boundaries.
Yeah. Alex, let's call this a short episode and wrap it up. Or should we
wrap it
look?
up.
Do you want to? Is there anything Champions League?
We got Shakhtar Donetsk coming up.
Let me see who Liverpool.
Yeah,
got
Arsenal's
here.
got an good old Shakhtar. Haven't played them in a while. I feel like. Ooh, I see one jumping out at me right away here.
What's your pick of the week, Alex?
Champions League. I don't know. Hold on. Don't get me too excited yet, but I see a little Real Madrid Dortmund going on. I like that.
Yeah, my
That seems like a
cursor's
classic
literally on it.
Champions League affair.
That's a big one.
Honestly, though, Liverpool Leipzig, I think will be good as well.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a fun match to watch.
Klopp
Just pure
versus
entertainment.
Liverpool, dude.
Yeah, pure entertainment stuff. I'm excited.
Yep,
That's a good one.
looks pretty fun.
Barcelona,
Bayern Munich stands out.
Barca Bayern. All right, we're looking to a pretty Solid Champions League week, huh?
There's some fun stuff on here. I would say competition surprise package Brest versus Leverkusen. That's a standout for me.
Yeah, interesting.
Very fun one there.
I'm also interested to see what Aston Villa does at any point in the Champions League.
Yeah,
just because I like Unai, and I like to see these smaller. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful of smaller English teams, but teams we're not used to seeing in the Champions League.
They've been out of it a long time. That's fair. Yeah, and to be honest, Bologna didn't make much of an impression on me when we played them.
Yeah.
They have really good reputation in Italy right now. So
I was going to say, I've heard they're doing pretty well.
I'm sure that's up to me just not knowing. But yeah.
Yeah, no. You know what's funny? I'm just thinking. I'm looking at these things, and I forgot completely. I was playing EAFC, and I forget that they lost the rights to a lot of teams' names. So the Italian teams.
I've heard that they don't have them.
Yeah, they're in. I think maybe Juventus is in there.
Okay.
There's some I think they've bought the rights for, but a lot of them are the made up team names.
That sucks.
The player names are right.
Oh, really?
Which is interesting because that's different than normal.
Yeah.
The player names they're still using.
So they got the Players Association.
Yeah, but they didn't get the teams because I think did somebody else buy the rights to the Italian one, or did they just lose the rights to it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Either way, but
Konami?
I've noticed the Italian teams are not all in the game.
Interesting. That's
which
a bummer.
Is a weird thing for EA.
Are all the big ones in there? You said Juve's in there. Is Milan in there? Inter?
I haven't played enough. I don't think Inter is.
That'd be wild.
Maybe they are, though. I haven't played enough. I was just playing my career mode, and I played Champions League against an Italian team.
Gotcha.
And that's what.
That's old school, man. It's been a long time since I played any game without full rights like that.
Yeah, we're full official rights.
Mm-hmm.
It feels weird, honestly.
Yeah,
it felt weird. I was like, I don't. It taints a game for me, honestly.
Yeah, it brings me all the way back to the 80s, getting Blades of Steel on NES and being like, what the fuck? The colors don't match the teams. It says Detroit, but they're well, I think Detroit was right in Blades of Steel. It was red and white. But there were tons of teams that were just random different colors. Yeah. This is dumb.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm one of those nerds that needs it to be as realistic as possible when I'm playing a sports sim game.
Fully same.
I need it to be super real. Otherwise, I like to play in career modes and campaign. I like to get lost in the video game.
You should see how monotonous Star Citizen is. That game we were talking about earlier. That's the most monotonous video game in history. I love it. How realistic.
We've played hours and hours of that game and gotten literally nothing done, and it's still fun.
That's the common experience.
It's still very fun.
It's the best.
Sometimes it's bad need, but most of the time we just laugh and keep going.
This is a Star Citizen podcast now.
Yeah,
but that is the key to Star Citizen, is doing it with a couple of buddies.
Yeah.
So when stuff goes wrong, you can all just gripe and laugh at it.
Gripe and then giggle about it.
Then
and
it's
move
not
on.
that bad. It's always kind of fun.
If you're playing solo, it gets a bit more of a grind.
Yeah, when you're playing solo, it feels like you're working and have an objective.
Yeah.
And you're gonna piss yourself off.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
what are these Vikings ding-dongs doing?
The stupid clap.
Yeah.
Don't clap like that.
Yeah.
All together like that.
Do you think you're Iceland?
Yeah, right? You're not Iceland. You're in Minnesota.
They actually do think they're Iceland.
I know, exactly. I was going to say, actually, probably exactly why they're doing that.
Yes, exactly.
Didn't put that together that quickly, but you're absolutely right.
They're like Iceland with a really pristine downtown.
Yes.
And a lot of skywalks between buildings.
Just beautiful because it's freezing cold.
Yeah. Iceland with skywalks.
Iceland with skywalks, Minnesota.
All right. And on that note,
that's it, y'all.
Yeah, I'm declaring. Thank you so much for listening to Soccer Situations. Check us out on Instagram, Soccer Situations Podcast. Watch us on YouTube. Talk about sexy things. We'll show you pictures of the sexy things
get to see
we talk about. We'll see you next week.
There you go.
Soccer situation.